Hi, good day to you. Today's video will be on respiration in humans. And why do we need to respire? Because we need energy for all kinds of activities in a cell. There's many processes that are ongoing, building things, breaking down things, removing waste, so on and so forth. They all need energy. And so how do we get energy from our food sources? In the chemistry part of it is essentially just using oxygen to break bonds, and this process is exothermic. It releases a lot of energy that the cell can use to perform its task. All the C to C bonds, C to H bonds are broken down to produce carbon dioxide and water. Using this process to create a large amount of energy is called aerobic respiration. This is the word equation. As you can see, it's using glucose as an example. For pure science students, you need to know the chemical equation. Partnering aerobic respiration will be the anaerobic respiration, which is the breaking down of molecules to create energy without using oxygen. For microorganisms that need to survive in low oxygen environment, they undergo aerobic respiration in the form of alcoholic fermentation. And this is the word equation. As you can see, the glucose is automatically broken down using their own mechanism. The products will be ethanol instead. This is how alcoholic beverages are made. However, in humans, where vigorous physical activity is performed, a large amount of energy is required, and sometimes the heart and the vessels are not able to break down food substances to release energy fast enough to meet the demands of the activity. Anaerobic respiration is performed to top up the shortage of energy. This is the word equation. So as you can see, glucose is immediately broken down and lactic acid is produced. In times of vigorous exercise, when energy is produced by anaerobic respiration in humans, there's this concept called the oxygen debt. Because the demand is so great for energy and the amount of oxygen intake is not enough to break down the food substances to create large amount of energy, thereby there is an insufficient amount of oxygen being transferred to the muscles. That's why the glucose is anaerobically converted to lactic acid and energy. In this oxygen debt, the lactic acid is produced. Even after the activity, breathing continues to be at a high rate. This will provide the extra oxygen to pay off the oxygen debt initially, to continue to break down the lactic acid. This lactic acid is oxidized to release energy. This energy is used to create glucose from the remaining lactic acid. When all the lactic acid is cleared, the so-called oxygen debt is paid. Talking about respiration in humans, of course we need to know the tools that are involved in this process. These are the parts that you need to know. This, of course, is a lot simpler than the digestion chapter. The air just goes in to the lung, into the alveoli, and the air gets dissolved in the thin film of water, and it gets dissolved into the capillaries. And the waste gases, of course it's just carbon dioxide, will be diffused into the capillary for the organism to exhale. Inhalation is called inspiration and exhalation is called expiration. Along the trachea, the windpipe, there are little hair called the cilia. This sweeps the dust particles upwards to keep the lung clear and unclogged with dirt. There is also glands that produces mucus to trap the dust particles for the cilia to remove. So as oxygen passes into the alveoli, dissolve into the thin film of water and gets dissolved past the one cell thick capillary into the bloodstream, the red blood cell uptakes this oxygen molecule and binds together with the hemoglobin. This is a reversible process, as once it reaches its destination, it will release the oxygen molecule from the hemoglobin. At tissue cells, where respiration occurs, carbon dioxide is produced as a waste product. The red blood cell takes up this carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide is mixed with water to form carbonic acid with the help of carbonic anhydrase. Carbonic acid, being an acid, releases hydrogen ions in an aqueous environment, thereby holding hydrogen carbonate ions in the blood plasma. Hydrogen carbonate ions are important to maintain pH of the blood. In the lungs, the hydrogen carbonate ions are converted back into carbonic acid and then converted again into carbon dioxide and water. So it's a little bit more complicated for the carbon dioxide removal process. Next, we talk about the main event of this chapter, which is the breathing mechanism. As you breathe in, called inspiration, the diaphragm contracts and it becomes shorter or flattened. The intercostal muscles are split into external and internal. The external intercostal muscles will contract and the internal intercostal muscles will relax. The rib bones move upwards and out, sternum move up and forward. All these complicated processes just to create a larger volume in the thoracic cavity, which is the cavity that stores the lungs. And because this volume increases, the air pressure is now lower than that of the external environment, so the air flows in to the lungs quickly. For the expiration or exhalation, the opposite events happen to create a smaller volume. Therefore, the air pressure is higher than environmental air pressure. The air will exit quickly. So how does the inhaled air differ from the exhaled air? We are using oxygen, therefore the oxygen component will be lesser. We produce carbon dioxide in the process, therefore it will be higher. No nitrogen is used, therefore it's the same. Water vapor is higher because there's a lot of moisture that is in the lungs that is exhaled, evaporated and exhaled together with the expired air. Temperature should be about body temperature. Dust particles are lesser because they are trapped by the lungs and also certain cells that catches these foreign particles. Lastly, we'll be talking about the effects of smoking, which of course is covered in the previous chapters, linked in the top right corner. The components of tobacco smoke are these. What it does to the human body is this, therefore creating this effect. Like mentioned in previous video, the concept of biology education is to help students create a well-informed choice of their life activities. So I won't cover too much into this part of the topic. You can read and it's needed in your papers, just that it's mainly memory work, nothing too much about any concept or ideas. And that is all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like and subscribe, share it with somebody that needs to see this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!